Hello, good morning, dear students. Let us learn Newtonian physics. Basic concepts on Newton's laws of motion in classical mechanics. Newtonian physics name itself is telling you Newton was a scientist. Okay, he has proposed many theories. Basically, universal gravitational force of attraction. Whatever object we take, you throw in air. Okay, it will be directed towards Earth. Why? Because Earth has universal gravitational force of attraction. Or if you take any object and drop it simply, it is going towards Earth. Or if you throw any object against opposite to Earth's surface, it will move up to certain height. After attaining it to its maximum height, it is again coming back due to gravity. So this was told by Newton. So let us study now. Let us we will go in detail what are these Newtonian physics or Newton laws by using classical mechanics, and see this course or this topic is for the basic level of students. Okay, it's not for advanced level, only for basic level of students. Let us go to the next slide. The contents under the topic covered are going to be covered, or we will have an introduction, learning objectives. Module 1 explains you about concept of force, because without force we cannot understand Newton laws, because gravitational force, it's a force due to gravity. So we'll see in detail what is concept of force. Next, in module 2 we'll cover Newton laws. Those are Newton's first law, second law and third law. Module 3, the applications of Newton laws, means first, second and third law in our day-to-day life. This is a short, brief description for the basic learners. The students who has to have a basic potentiality in Newtonian physics, means these are the basic concepts that they must study, they must go through. The advanced level of this course will be how we are going to use in many applications by creating some problem or already some solved questions regarding the numerical problems based on force, Newton's first law, second law and third law. Not only this, Newton has explained many things, objects in equilibrium, how to solve the problems, how to bring any object into equilibrium, without which we are not going to find any physical quantity. So this is the advanced level, but as a basic level of study, we will have to go through these concepts. Okay, let us go to the next topic, that is our introduction. Okay, introduction to Newtonian physics. Today we are going to learn Newton laws of motion in classical mechanics with brief description on the concept of force, without which is an incomplete sense of understanding the basic concepts of Newton laws. As I said before, why classical mechanics? Let us see little later. Okay, physics is a branch of science which deals with quantitative, analytical, reasonable study of physical quantities that can be measured and analyzed with the factual concepts agreed and approved by standard international systems in the universe. Let us take any physical quantity, such as we as a human being, our body, human structure has some mass, some weight, right? We are telling mass, we when to say mass. We are telling weight, when to say weight. how to use. So in physics, any object you take, it's a quantitative and has analytical reasonable study which can be measured, and that has to be analyzed. Like my weight is, I can say, 800 Newton. Why Newton I'm telling? I'm not kilogram, I'm not telling a kilogram. My weight is 80 kilo, but weight is in turn is a force acting on earth, right? So Newton has proposed force very first. So because of his basic study, because of his dedication towards this, so the name is allotted by the standard international system as we have to measure force in terms of Newton. Okay, this is accepted, approved, agreed by the whole universe. So Newton is a SI unit of force, is a physical quantity like weight, force. Okay, mostly referred force is mostly Newton is mostly referred to measure force. Okay, and Newton was a scientist, and his name is Isaac Newton, was actually English mathematician and physicist who proposed universal gravity by using classical mechanics. Here we are particularly telling about classical mechanics. Let us take and highlight here. I am going to highlight here classical mechanics. Can you see classical mechanics? I am highlighting. Okay. Our learning objectives we are going to spend little time on this. Okay. So, and he gave three important laws. Who? Newton gave three important laws on mechanics, so called Newton's laws of motion. And Newton was born on 25th December 1642. Okay. So let me take this. Let us go to the next slide. Our objectives, learning objectives. We are going to study the concept of force, as I said you, three laws. Okay. And our objective of focusing this topic is to utilize the applications of Newton laws in every day-to-day life. Please remember this, that we are going to, I am going to highlight this in every day-to-day life. We are going to okay. Now, by making use of classical mechanics. Okay. So now, what is classical mechanics? This classical mechanics describe the relationship between the motion of objects found in our everyday life, everyday world, and the forces acting on them. The forces acting on them. However, for large or a bigger in size and slowly moving objects, where we can measure the accurate calculation using the laws of classical mechanics discussed in this topic. Now concentrate in the next point. Classical mechanics does not apply or applies in only a limited way in most of these conditions are not considered when dealing either with tiny objects such as of size comparable to that of size of atoms. You know what is the size of atom? Which are very small and smaller, right? About 10 to the power minus 10 meter. This is 10 to the power minus 10. 10 to the power minus 10 means 0.00000001. That means after decimal 0.9 zeros, then put 1. Such a small unit. Okay. Or with objects moving at speed near that of speed of light. What is the speed of light? Light. See, we have studied. I told you in the first slide that has mass, weight, force. Now light. What all these things? These are all, see, physical quantities, okay, that can be measured. We are going to measure. What's the speed? Speed is also physical quantity. Speed of light is 3 times 10 to the power 8 plus. This is not minus, understand? That means after 1 you have to put 8 zeros right side. 3 into 10 to the power 8 means after 3, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 8 times. Understand? Meters per second. Such a big. So, for which relativity and quantum mechanics will be the best solution for such considerations and conditions. Okay. So, in with this knowledge, we understand that the classical mechanics is good for the objects which are moving slow. Okay, which are moving slow. But if the objects which are of size very small, okay, those things we are going to understand easily with the help of classical mechanics. And for which the relativity and quantum mechanics will be the best solution for such considerations and conditions. In order to see the particles which are moving very fast, see here, speed of light is very fast, right? And also the size of the objects which are 10 to the power of minus 10 times is very small, for which classical mechanics the is does not applicable here. Okay, relativity and quantum mechanics will give the best solutions for such considerations. That's what here we are going to highlight and show you that classical mechanics, which can be helpful for learning those objects which are moving slow, not fast, and also bigger sizes. For smaller sizes and moving very fast objects, classical mechanics is not suitable for that. Okay. Instead of that, relativity and quantum mechanics will give the best solution for such considerations. Okay. These are our objectives that we are going to cover. Now let us go to the next slide. As I said in module 1, concept of force. What is force? Force, usually see here this picture. One person is pulling the spring, right? And here this woman is carrying a small baby sitting in the cart. And a person who is kicking the ball, football. Here field force we are telling this is small m, big M. Here minus Q plus Q. This is iron, this is north and south. What does it mean? It means that the forces means, usually generally you think of force is either push or pull. Either you can push means there is a contact, or pull. And there can be a contact or there cannot be contact. So we will derive the forces into two types. So force is either simply we can say either push or pull. And it's a vector quantity. We know what is the opposite of vector? Scalar. Okay, vector means what? It has not only magnitude but also direction. It is moved with particular direction at one time. Understand? So the forces could be contact force or field forces. Now here, if you see this different cases A, B, C, D, E, F, we have few forces which shows you that there is a contact, physical contact. The spring is in contact with hand, or hand, unless and until you use your hand, you cannot bring the spring, right? Stretch the spring. So this is a contact force. Here, this woman is holding with rope, right? And here soccer player or football player kicking the football. However, the small infinitesimal small time could be. Here the kicking time is very small, but even though there is a contact here. What about the right side field forces? This is mass of small object, this is mass of big object. Imagine this is earth and here this is a small object, say for example a small ball. When you drop the ball, it is moving towards earth. It is due to gravity. So this is universal gravitational force of attraction. So there is a field acting on it. So this is field force. Here minus q charge is small, plus q charge is a very big distribution of charge. Here minus and plus attract each other. Opposite charges attract each other. So this type of force is electrostatic force of attraction and repulsion, right? There could be repulsion also if you take plus repel, minus repel, go away from each other, right? But minus and plus attract with each other, move towards. Understand? So like how the last case here, one iron is there, is being attracted towards north and south. What is this north and south? This is a magnet. So what type of force exists here? Magnetic force of attraction. So gravitational force, electrostatic force, or electric charge forces, or you can say magnetic forces. These are field forces. Okay. So the types: strong nuclear forces, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear forces, gravity. Why we are telling strong nuclear force, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force and gravity? Why we arrange like this? Depend upon their field strength. Okay. This you will understand in the next level. Okay. This is the basic level. What are the characteristics? All the field forces listed in order of decreasing strength. Decreasing strength means here the strength of gravity will be more than electromagnetic force, then weak nuclear force. Okay. Nuclear forces, strong nuclear forces, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force and gravity. Force due to gravity. And last point, only gravity and electromagnetic in mechanics has little stronger effect. Okay. Go to the next slide. Our module, second module covers here Newton's second law. No, we are going to see all the forces. That means Newton laws we are covering in module 2. Let us take the first Newton's first law. First Newton's first law. First law can be easily understandable once you know. Let us take any object and don't apply any force. If no force is acting on the object, it will be in its original state. That means if you take any car and just park it, it will be permanently parked, right? It will be in original state of motion. It is not coming into picture as a motion. It is not moving, right? When, because you have not applied any force, no force is there. Unless and until you exert some external force on it. An object at rest remains at rest. An object moving with some velocity will continue with the same velocity. This is what Newton's first law. He proposed that if the object is at rest, will be continually in rest. If the object is in motion, it will be continuing in motion. Unless and until you apply some external force on it to change its state. Which state? If the object is at rest, means your car is in parking condition, it will be in rest. If your car is moving with constant speed, acceleration is zero. It will be in same motion. How do you bring this car which is moving to rest? How do you take your car when you start moving? You need to add some external force, right? So any force that results from interaction between the objects and its environment, then external force comes into picture. Alternatively, the alternative statement you can also say When there are no external forces acting on the object, the acceleration of the object is 0. That means the car which is at parking position, stop, which is at rest, it will be in continually at rest position. If the car is in motion, it will be continue in motion. With constant acceleration, the acceleration of that object is 0. Okay. So in simpler way, first law explains about inertia. What is inertia? We will see in the application. Okay. Go to the second law. Newton's second law explains about acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force acting on it and inversely proportional to its mass. That means inverse means what? It will be in the denominator side. Directly proportional means what? It will be in the numerator. Acceleration is directly proportional to force. Why I am putting sigma? If the force not only in x-axis, not in y, not in z, if the force is in all the three directions. What is the example? The best example is the molecules which are moving in gas jar or the molecules of air which is randomly moving in x, y and z. Or if you speak particularly, no, my car is moving linearly in x-axis, let us take only one force. No need to take y and z, okay? Yeah. Because y component is 0, z component is 0. Only x component is there, like that. So finally, you can remove this proportionality and put some constant and F is equals to ma. What is m here? Mass of the object. A is acceleration. F is force. So F and A are both vectors. Here force and acceleration both are vectors, not scalar. Scalar means what? It has only magnitude, no direction. But here mass is a scalar. Okay? This is in your school level, you have understand what is scalar, what is vector. I hope you know. Otherwise, you can see my previous videos where I have explained what is scalar, what is vector. Okay. Now let us move ahead. And this can also be applied in 3 dimension as I said to you. Okay, x, y, z. Finally, how do you measure the force? Newton. How do you calculate? How do you say 1 Newton force? See, F is equals to 1 Newton when 1 kilogram of mass of an object is moving with 1 meter per second square. 1 into 1 is 1 kg meter per second square is nothing but Newton. You can write either like this or like this is same. But Standard International System of Units says you that follow Newton. Okay, I hope you have understood Newton's second law. It simply speaks about F is equals to ma, and we are going to use this force due to gravity, and we are going to find out what is weight. We'll see in applications. Okay, so remember there is one application with the help of by Newton's first law. Next we have to discuss application due to Newton's second law. Now we will see what is the definition of Newton's third law, and we'll go to the application. Okay. Gravitational force. Before Newton's third law, gravitational force. As I said, whatever object you take, imagine, I will draw here, okay, for your easy purpose. This is Earth, okay, and here there is a small object ball, okay, this is a ball. Imagine this is your ball. Now this is moving down like this towards Earth, okay. It's a mutual force. I wanted to take here. This is a mutual force of attraction between any two objects expressed by the Newton's law of universal gravitation. What is this m1? Mass of this pen. What is m2? Mass of the earth. This is earth. Okay. How much distance between these two is r? How many times square? Double. 2 times. Not 2 times. Square. Okay. Multiplication. R into r. So Fg, force of universal gravitational equals, what is big G? Is a universal gravitational constant big G. We will discuss this small g and big G in our higher level of topic. Okay, we are going to see. We are going to distinguish between small g and big G later. As of now, you can understand Fg means force, gravitational force due to gravity. G is universal gravitational constant, which is constant. M1 is mass of the object 1, M2 is mass of the object 2, R is the distance between these two objects. Okay, let us go to the next one. Newton's third law. What is Newton's third law telling? If two objects, first of all keep in mind, Newton's third law exists always in pair, not in as a single force. It is always a double force. Double means pair force. If two objects interact, the forces F12 means force on the first body due to second exerted by object 1 on object 2 is equal in magnitude but opposite in direction to the force F21, which is exerted by the object 2 on object 1. Object 2 on object 1 before object 1 on object 2. Okay. So F12 is force due to the first object due to second, force on second object due to the first one. What about this negative sign? Is always opposite. Okay, showing you. So equivalent to saying a single isolated force cannot exist. Keep in mind universal fact that for uh, Newton's third law cannot be explained. It is not a single isolated force that which is existing. Okay, always exist in pair. So F12 may be called as action force and F21 can be called as reaction force. Action, reaction. What about this minus sign? Opposite direction. So actually either force can be action or the reaction force. The action and reaction force act on different objects, these two objects. Okay. So under module 3, we are going to study about the applications. Applications means, see, you can keep in brief that Newton's first law explains about inertia, Newton's second law explains about weight, Newton's third law explains about action and reaction, right? So what is inertia? Is the tendency of an object to continue in its original motion. Means what? If the object is at rest, it will be in rest. For example, compare rat and elephant. The mass of rat is more or elephant mass is more? Elephant mass is more, right? So inertia for elephant is more than rat. Rat has very less mass compared to elephant. So it has less inertia. However, big the mass, big inertia. However, less the mass, less inertia. So inertia is a measure of mass. Mass is a measure of inertia. Okay. In simple words, you can say inertia means mass. Mass means inertia. A measure of the resistance of an object to changes in its motion due to the forces. It is scalar quantity. Keep in mind, it does not have direction. It is only magnitude. It is a scalar quantity measured in kilogram. Second law explains about weight. The magnitude of gravitational force acting on the object near the mass of the Earth's surface is W of the four object. F is equals to ME. How you have written? See, I will write and show you here. Let me take pen and show you. F in place of W I am writing F equals M A, right? We know, we studied this one. So F means weight, M mass, A is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. Understand? See, this is your ball, imagine, and you are dropping this, and this is Earth, our planet where we are living. Okay, and when you drop this, it is moving towards Earth. Okay, this is M1, mass M1. This is M2. I am writing big M. Why? Because Earth compared to ball, the size of Earth is very, very, very big. Or you can say in opposite way, the mass of ball is very, very negligible compared to Earth, right? So what we have written here, Fg equals G M1 M2 by R square, right? The same as Fg is equals to G R square. We have studied this one, right? So W equals mg or F is equals to ma is same. Is a special case of Newton's second law, and G can also be found from law of universal gravitational constant. Weight is not an inherent property of the body. Mass is an inherent. Inherent means what? Inherent means within the body itself. Okay. Or I can tell you in simple words, it is not from outside world. It is not from external side. It is present inside. Weight is not inherent property. Mass is an inherent property of the of any object. I have my own mass. You have your own mass. This laptop or computer has its own mass. Understand? So mass is inherent property, but weight is due to gravity. Understand? So this is not inherent property. And always weight depends upon location. Location means what? Weight depends upon the location. Like acceleration due to gravity, G value is 9.86 in Earth. 9.86 meter per second square. Meter per second square. Are you understanding? Gravity. But this is due to Earth. But what about Moon? I'll put here Moon. If you go in Moon and see, the gravity is different. So gravity due to Moon. Your question now, you have to find out. Okay. See, Google it and check out and tell me in the next session. Okay. Find out. Question 1. Have you understood? So it depends upon the location. Go to the next topic, last. The applications of Newton's third law. It's simple. We know rocket. You know rocket, right? Rocket is moving up. Whatever fuel is used inside the rocket, the thermal fuel is going to be hit, and with that energy it is moving in opposite direction, right? So look here, a TV kept in the table, on the table. So there is a normal force which is acting on up. Why? Because it is kept on the table. Imagine if there is no table, then where does this body go? Where does this body go? This TV will fall down, right? In this n prime. What is n prime? Is opposite to n. Or you can say that the force due to gravity is Fg. This Fg, the TV force due to gravity is Fg. There will be opposite force acting opposite to the gravity is Fg prime. Understand? So N is the normal force, the force, the table exerting on the table on the TV. N is always perpendicular to the surface, and N prime is a reaction. TV at the table. See the minus sign. This tells you that opposite direction. Okay. N equals N prime. Similarly, Fg and Fg dash. Force due to gravity is always directing down. Opposite to this one is Fg dash or Fg prime. Is the force on the Earth exerts on the object. Okay. So Fg prime is a force the object exerting on the earth. So Fg equals minus Fg prime. I hope you have all understood